I'm gonna do a reading today. I haven't done one for a few days. I've been I've had a lot of guidance around sort of like ascended masters and around moving towards fifth dimensional reality, fifth dimensional experience. A lot of it's around sort of like frequencies and intention, and it's about clearing your energy, but it's also about raising your vibration. It's about ascension. It's about a lot of things. We're going for a lot of clearing and cleansing still. So I went for sort of what is like the crystal today, and I was drawn to the golden healer quartz crystal, and this clears your chakras, clears your energy, but it also connects you to your crown chakra and the golden energy of your, which connects to the source, but also connects to your higher self and your true self, your true nature. It lifts your consciousness, and I feel this is very important at the moment. A lot of this is going on. I feel very much drawn myself at the moment where I need to keep my vibration and frequency really high. I need to be coming from a place of the heart, not the mind. I need to be connected in there. And I thought, well, I'll do an angel reading. I'll do my Angel of Atlantis readings today, which I always find very much sort of a beautiful energy. The angel energies that come are very beautiful. I've also been drawn to like Lemuria, and Atlantis and Lemuria are very much closely connected, these civilizations, and there's still a lot of discussion around, although these these civilizations have perished as like physically, their frequency and their energetic frequency and sort of like their spiritual sort of energy is still very much connected to the planet. And this is part of the shifting of this age and of this golden age as it starts to go through and it starts to happen now. And this is what a lot of the stuff's going on and a lot of stuff's about at the moment. We start to shift and we start to move, and the cards are very much symbolic of this. I do feel this is very much the fifth dimensional reality is quite difficult to hold the frequency, hold the vibration at the moment, because like I keep saying, we're still very much connected into the third dimensional reality. And when you start looking at spiritual laws, you look at the law of oneness, you look at the law of vibration, you look at the law of attraction, the law of action, all these kind of things. They're very much connected into intentions and how we use our energy, but they're also very much connected to a collective level. And this is what we need to we need to look at, especially with a lot of things that are going on for us at the moment within the spiritual shifting and the spiritual sort of frequencies that are coming in. It works on a collective. Although we are moving towards a fifth dimensional reality and we're still very much in the third, we're shifting into the fourth as well, where we're becoming and opening these channels and becoming more spiritual and connecting more to the source. As I connect into this, a golden light, and as I talk about this golden healing or this golden consciousness is going through my third eye as I start to talk and feel this light, this beautiful golden light coming down, and it's going into my third eye as I talk about this. So I know what I'm talking about has some frequency to it, some sort of guidance to it. Yesterday I had 3 colours come through, and they were yellow, pink and blue, and all these are connected to these ascended master rays, but they're also connected to these the ascended master rays, and they connect to sort of like creativity, illumination, like the awakening of the soul. The pink is very much around union. It's about harmony, it's about balance, it's about universal sort of love. And again, all of these connect to the law of oneness, but they also connect to co-creation and creation in that sense. Each of you is an energy frequency that creates this energy and creates this light, and it's about us holding that light frequency and then sending it out into the world, but sending it out into the universe, but also holding that frequency in ourselves. The more we hold that light frequency, the higher the energy and the higher the frequency that can sort of like activate within our own bodies and our own light bodies and our own energy fields. And this also connects to our physical bodies as well. And we'll get senses, and we'll also be able to be opened up as a physical sort of channel to start to receive these kind of insights and this information. There's a lot going on in this at the moment. I mean, people are talking about like the golden dawn and like a golden age, and it's very much around that, the source, the sun. It's about the spiritual energy, that is in us, and this time's very much around this. I mean, if you go into the sacred flames, I think Aurora Jones talks about this. She talks about 7 sacred flames, and like today is like there's different flames for a day, and like today's like a golden flame. But I feel very much drawn to this like golden healer sort of crystal today. And yesterday when I was looking at crystals as well, I actually spiritually I visualized crystals in my third eye and in my different like energy centers. So I had one in my crown, so it's maybe like selenite or like clear quartz, but they weren't physical crystals. They weren't stuck crystals that you hold. I actually energetically visualized them in each of the energy sets centers, and the energy that came out of them was very, very intense, but it was very, very high as well, a high frequency. So it's like when you're visualizing things, it's like we don't need necessarily physically to be connected to things or to be touching things. We can visualize them at the moment, and I think this is where part of the energy frequency shifted, because when you visualize it, it instantly manifests almost like within our energy, and then it shifts our energy as well. So there's lots of things going on with it at the moment. So the first one is Sadvikal, and it's surrender. So this is opening to the source. This is daily looking at what you do. It's daily taking time to sit in your energy, to raise your energy, remain centered, remain focused, know that you're supported, know that you're secure, know that these energies are working with you, and they're moving you towards that expressing your light, expressing your nature, expressing your true nature in your everyday life. This is the purpose. This is the soul's purpose. This is why the purpose of the soul is that it's incarnated, is for this particular reason. The soul came down for this reason. It's come down to manifest and walk on the planet in spirit, and it's very much around this. So it's about how we use our frequencies and using them to lift our energy, and it's also about just like expressing your light and dissolving any fear, dissolving any kind of disharmony, because this time's are very much around balance and harmony, and that's what the spirit world works on. This is what the spirit frequencies work on, the spiritual realm. They're connected, and they're all interconnected with this law of oneness. So it's very much around that. The spiritual laws are very, very important to sort of like understand and live within those, because they bring this kind of alignment with this spiritual source, this spiritual energy, the universal energy, which is what we're all in. We're all part of this this big universe, and these realms are all connected to it. So it's very much around that. So Sadvikal is around surrendering to the source. It's a connecting to the source. It's opening to the source daily, and it's lifting and opening and aligning your frequencies with your highest expression. It's very much around that. Again, Sandalphon it comes in with the second one, and it's very much around that again. As you can see, it's like a prayer to the sun. It's like being like connecting again, taking that energy in, or not even taking the energy in, because it's not in. It's being in that energy, and it's allowing that. As I start to talk about this, a massive golden light is in my heart chakra that's spinning, and it's opening, and it's warm, and it's vibrant, it's alive. So I know by staying in that center and staying in the heart, it will dissolve, but it will also send out a frequency that will attract. And this one connects to this one. It connects to abundance, which is Uriel. So I'm changing the cards around as I'm talking to. The first 3 I picked were Sadvikal, Gabriel with Grace, then it was Sandalphon, and then like after that was abundance with Uriel. But I feel this is very much around this. So we're talking about abundance, growth, connection, but we're also talking about attraction, the law of attraction, as these energies are starting to attract. If you like the first 2 cards, as you start to open up and you start to connect to that source, and you connect to your intentions, and you start to bring in that energy into your life and keep that frequency high, then it will attract within the universe. It will be the law of attraction, the law of abundance, and it's very much around that at the moment. The more we do that, the more we attract. We will attract that frequency, and it will dissolve. It will remove all blockages. It will remove all barriers, and this will connect very much with this. So this one's about grace, but also it's about sort of like grace, but about purification. It's about cleansing. It will attract that abundance into our lives, but the more we open to that source, the more that we align, purify, higher our vibration, but we will also remove those barriers. I keep saying, and that keeps linking in with Uriel again for this this sort of law of attraction, the abundance, which is growth, opening, expansion. It will bring security. It will bring this sense of feeling supported as these angels, as these guides, and they will start to open up. Your energy field will open up, your energy frequency will open up, and you start to receive those insights. Again, Gabriel is like the messenger. It brings this kind of message of this sort of energy, but he also connects to that universal, or that like connects to that first ray of the ascended masters, which is Almora, which is the divine intelligence, the divine will. It very much connects to that. So the more we open up to that, the more we receive that will, and the more it guides us, and the more it starts to inspire us, and it starts to bring, harmony. But it also brings the highest sort of outcomes as well. So it's very much around that. It's very much around balance and keeping those kind of frequencies. The next one is Jophiel, which is liberation. So liberation to me is as you move to these higher frequencies, you come closer to that source, and you start to see your life and the synchronicities and the insights and the connections, and you start to see things in a different light. You start to see the world in a different way, and you start to see how we're all connected. But you also start to see the opportunities and the learning and the growth, and you also start to see that communication is in each moment, every second. It's there. It's guiding you. It's divided. It's guiding you. It's giving you direction. It's giving you insight. It's giving you understanding. And when you start to do that, then you start to see your life in a different way. And this is where, and it very much connects to the surrendering bit again, because when you start to see life in that way, you can let go. You can come in the flow of the universe, and things start to dissolve. But you also allows that, letting go, so we're not attached, we're not holding on to things. And this is what part of the third dimension is about. The third dimension reality is about being attached. The more we attach, the more we're in our egos, and the more we're sort of in our minds. And this time is very much, and the fourth is very much around, as I start to connect to this, the fourth is very much about going into the heart. Once you start to go into the heart, then you start to dissolve that sort of like ego and that mind, and you start to move into the energy of the heart, and you become more centered, you become more connected, grounded. You connect to that soul, that sort of like that source energy, and it starts to remove and dissolve barriers. And what I feel is when you're in your heart as well, you're able to sort of see things in a more compassionate way. And this is where this higher outcome, the higher sort of expression comes from, and it lives in the heart. It lives in the heart center. So we need to move away from the mind and the ego and into the heart center. The last but not least is Michael and enchantment. Enchantment is when you start to see the magic in life. You start to see the flow of the universe. You start to see everything start to come into alignment and into flow. You've also got a unicorn on there, and the unicorn brings this mysticism, but it also brings like this alchemy. Like enchantment is about alchemy, is about creation as well. But the unicorn is a mystical sort of being, and an energetic being that brings this very high frequency of healing. But it's not just healing for us individually. When Michael or any angels or ascended masters or universal guides and teachers are working, they don't work on a singular level. They work on a collective level. And it's the same with the spirit world and the spirit entities, especially within the fifth dimension. As I talked about the Lemuria and Atlantis before, it's very much around that. It's a collective, and like you've got like the White Brotherhood, you've got like the councils, and you talk about all these spiritual sort of hierarchies, but they're not hierarchies really, because hierarchies mean higher and lower. It's just they're different frequencies, and they bring a different frequency. But they're these brotherhoods, these ascended masters, these universal teachers work on a collective level, and everything that happens on that collective level happens for the greatest good of all. That's the law of oneness. That's the law of union. That's the law of vibration and frequency. It's very much around that, and I feel this is what this is about. But that universal sort of energy of the unicorns brings a very high frequency. It heals the soul. It heals the spirit. It opens it up. I also feel sort of like very much with that kind of card. There's like a high frequency. There's like as I start to look into it, there's like a rainbow that pours down into us and into our energy, but it's into this frequency of the planet. So I know there's new vibrations, there's new frequencies, there's new colors that are coming to the planet all the time, and they're shifting our consciousness, and they're shifting our energy to bring insight and bring alignment and bring awareness. So just stay open and look. If you feel directed, or you feel sort of there's some sort of impression that's given to you, or you feel like you're drawn to something, follow it, because it's very much at the moment that there's a lot of sort of communication coming through. So just stay open to that. Again, as I sit there and I'm talking about this, I feel this massive golden light just pouring into my third eye. So I know these energies are shifting and they're lifting. Yesterday, when I moved into like a light frequency, it's like I feel like you start to see through your eyes, and your eyes feel like you're looking, and you're vibrating in light. And actually, as you see through, your eyes become lighter, they become different, and you get a different vision. And this is very much around what's going on at the moment. Like as you move to that high frequency, your vision's different and how you see things. So it's like you're seeing things with spiritual eyes, and it's very much around this, and this is what's happening. So there's an alignment there, but there's also like a reclaimment. I feel like with this ancient wisdom, or this ascended wisdom, and the ascended masters, and all these other sort of frequencies of these cultures that have gone by, like the Lemurians again and the Atlanteans. They're awakening spiritual gifts that were there, but they're awakening spiritual frequencies, and the gifts will come and start to become available to us as the frequencies rise, because you cannot hold those frequencies in your spiritual energy or your spiritual body until that's the ascension, or until you've risen to that level, or your frequency has risen to that energy, your energy level, or your energy frequency has risen to that level. So I feel that's what's going on. There's a lot of things that people talk about, like I used to have a group called like Atlantis Reclaimed, and I felt like I needed to name my Facebook group that. And this was very much around, again, reclaiming gifts, regaining spiritual gifts. And I feel this is what's happening. As we awaken and our energy shifts, we're reclaiming that spiritual heritage, that spiritual lineage. But we also, whatever has been before, energy never dies. It just transmutes. So it shifts to a different state of being. So again, those energy frequencies are all still already here. Nothing is lost. It's still here now. So when we awaken, we will start to align with those again. So that's the spirit. That's the reading for today. So it's about being open. It's about surrendering. It's about raising your frequency. It's about using your intentions. Abundance is there. The law of attraction is coming in. You're safe. You're secure. Just open up. Just take time to open up to your energy.